Welcome to the KinoCheck News. Of course, we've put together another big selection of exciting news for you. This includes the big Super Mario leak, which reveals a lot about the story of the movie sequel. There's also a first teaser trailer featuring Nicolas Cage in the new Spider-Man series. And new images for Wicked 2, the new Fallout season, and Alien Earth are also available. There was a lot going on this week, so here are the details. The Super Mario Bros. Movie was a huge success at the box office. It's therefore long been clear that a sequel is in the works. And now we may also know the movie title. The studio NBCUniversal has reported on its upcoming movie highlights in a press release. And in it, they mention the name Super Mario World. Now, the title has since been entirely removed from the announcement, a strong indication of an accidental disclosure. But of course, it was already too late. Attentive readers had already spotted the title. It's now safe to conclude that the movie sequel will be called Super Mario World. Naturally, this also gives Super Mario fans clues about the plot and setting of the sequel. After all, Super Mario World is the name of a beloved platform game that Nintendo first released in the 90s. One detail is particularly relevant here. Fan favorite Yoshi made his first ever appearance in the Super Mario World game. As a reminder, at the end of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, there was a teaser for Yoshi. In the post-credits scene, an egg with green spots could be seen, a clear sign that Yoshi will play a role in the sequel. So, the title Super Mario World would therefore match the story of the sequel in this regard. We already know that the team behind the scenes will remain largely the same. As with the first Super Mario movie, the screenplay will be penned by Matthew Fogel. Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic will also be directing again. So, in other words, tried and trusted talent remains on board. And this is good news for fans of the first movie. The release date for the sequel has also already been confirmed. On April 3rd, 2026, we'll be able to witness Yoshi's big appearance in cinemas. Last year, Wicked was one of the biggest movie sensations. So, fans are therefore already eagerly awaiting the sequel, which will hit theaters later this year. An official poster has now been made public, which was previously shown at CinemaCon 2025. But most importantly, we now also know when the first trailer will be released. The poster shows the two main characters, Elphaba and Glinda, played by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. They are facing each other, but the yellow brick road familiar from The Wizard of Oz can be seen between the two. Wicked for Good is set to seamlessly continue the story of the first film. It'll therefore adapt the second half of the Wicked musical. At CinemaCon, director John M. Chu already revealed that the focus would now be on the consequences of Elphaba and Glinda's decisions. A first trailer was also shown at the event. It'll soon also be available to a wider audience. In the US and Canada, the first movie will return to limited movie theaters for one more day on June 4th, 2025, during which the trailer for Wicked 2 will also be shown. According to insider information, the trailer will also be released online on that same day. Get the KinoCheck app so you don't miss out. Not only will you have the latest trailers at your fingertips, but also all the hottest news from the world of movies and series. Wicked for Good will be released on November 21st, 2025, and you can find all further information on the sequel in our in-depth movie preview. Don't miss this. On our channel, you can currently find new trailers for the Formula One film F1 with Brad Pitt, and the fun animated movie The Bad Guys 2, an epic look at Superman, and first impressions of Marvel's Ironheart. But our personal highlight is Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk. If the movie is just as entertaining as the trailer, then going to the movies is a must. And while we continue to wait for an Avatar 3 trailer, get ready for Zootopia 2. There's a good chance that the trailer will be released next week to coincide with the theatrical release of Lilo and Stitch. Two big announcements for Fallout fans. Amazon has officially announced a third season of the popular sci-fi series, and the streaming service also revealed when the second season of the game adaptation will be released. In 2024, Fallout was one of the biggest series hits of the year and thrilled fans and critics alike. The show takes viewers into a gloomy post-apocalyptic world based on the video game series of the same name. Amazon has now introduced the second season as part of an upfronts event. The streaming service unveiled its upcoming program there. Also present were the main actors Ella Purnell, Aaron Moten, and Walton Goggins. This time, the series will take us on a journey through the wasteland of the Mojave to the post-apocalyptic city of New Vegas. A first image was also shown. Likewise presented on site was a first teaser, which we hope to be able to share with you soon. A few days ago, it was revealed that filming of Season 2 had been completed. Now there's finally some clarity as to when we can expect the sequel. The new season will premiere on Amazon Prime Video in December 2025. However, it won't stop there. The streaming service has also officially greenlit Season 3. Given its success, this isn't particularly surprising, but it's nonetheless a token of confidence. Another benefit is that the series' creative team can now make plans early on as to how the series will continue. And we're also hoping that there won't be too long of a break between seasons. Gollum is returning to the big screen. Following the recent release of the animated film The Lord of the Rings: The Battle of the Rohirrim, we'll soon get a new live-action film from the world of Middle-earth, The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Originally, there was already a release date for the theatrical release, but it was pushed back. Now, a new release date for the project has been announced. It's already clear that Andy Serkis will once again take on the role of Gollum. The actor had already played the character in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies using performance capture technology, and Serkis will also be directing The Hunt for Gollum. The screenplay is written by Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh, among others, who were already responsible for the screenplays of the previous Middle-earth movies together with Peter Jackson. While Jackson also directed those films, this time he's involved in The Hunt for Gollum solely as a producer. Now, the title of the film The Hunt for Gollum already gives an idea of the plot. The focus is on Gollum, who is pursued by various groups due to his knowledge of the whereabouts of the One Ring. The movie will be set at the same time as The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. Boyens had already spoken to Empire magazine about some of the details. Quote, "It's quite an intense story which falls after the birthday party of Bilbo and before the mines of Moria. It's a specific chunk of incredible untold story, told through the perspective of this incredible creature." The release date is typical for The Lord of the Rings. All of Peter Jackson's live-action adaptations were released in December, and this time will be no exception. However, fantasy fans will have to remain patient a while longer. The theatrical release is set for December 17th, 2027. After Alien Romulus, this year a series from the famous Alien franchise will follow for the first time. Now there's finally a release date and new images that'll leave you eager for more. There's also already some information about the plot. The series is called Alien Earth, and it'll take place 2 years before the first Alien film. A mysterious space vessel crashes on Earth, an event that changes everything. A young woman and a group of soldiers encounter terrifying predatory creatures that pose an unprecedented threat. As they search for survivors among the wreckage, they are caught up in a nightmare. In their fight for survival, they have to make a decision that could change the fate of the Earth forever. Of course, Alien fans know what kind of creature they're dealing with. The xenomorph is one of the most iconic monsters in film history. The cast includes leading actress Sydney Chandler, Andor actor Alex Lothar, and the Mandalorian actor Timothy Olyphant. The series was developed by Fargo mastermind Noah Hawley. Hawley also created the X-Men series Legion. Also involved as a producer is Ridley Scott. The acclaimed director directed the first Alien film as well as the prequels Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which were released decades later. Following a recently shown teaser, a trailer should not be long in coming either. This is also supported by the release of the new images. Alien Earth will hit Hulu and FX on August 12th, 2025, and it'll premiere with 2 episodes, with the remaining 6 following weekly. You can find all further information about the series in our big preview. And you can also stream all the movies of the Alien series on Hulu, including Alien Romulus. In addition to the upcoming film Spider-Man 4: Brand New Day, fans can look forward to a special highlight next year: the new live-action series Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage. A number of first images and even a teaser have now been released as part of Amazon Upfront 2025. In the animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Nicolas Cage already provided the voice of the character Spider-Man Noir. Now he's slipping into the role of the melancholy hero himself in the live-action adaptation. The first teaser already gives a first insight into the series' atmosphere. In it, Cage can be seen as a pensive and detached Peter Parker. In response to the statement that people could use a hero, he merely replies, "I hope they find someone." Visually, Spider-Man Noir remains true to the style of its comic book origins. The teaser shows a consistent black and white visual language reminiscent of classic film noir productions. According to Amazon, however, the series will also be available in color. Spider-Man Noir is based on the Marvel comic series of the same name, set in a gritty 1930s New York. Unlike your friendly neighborhood spider, the aged Peter Parker earns his living as a private investigator. Caught up with his past as a superhero, he's plagued by feelings of guilt and the dark consequences of his past choices. In addition to Nicolas Cage, Lamorne Morris, Brendan Gleeson, Abraham Papula, and Sinners actress Lee Jun-Lee are also involved. The series is written by Oren Uziel and Steve Lightfoot, who previously worked on The Punisher and Hannibal. Spider-Man Noir will debut domestically on MGM Plus's linear channel sometime in 2026, before becoming available globally on Prime Video the next day. An exact release date is still unknown. Lots of news, lots of images. Which project are you most looking forward to? And if you can handle even more anticipation, then please check out our latest movie preview, in which we take an in-depth look at The Mandalorian and Grogu. Just in case you missed it, here's more news that will pique your interest. Deadpool and Wolverine is the most successful R-rated film of all time with $1.38 billion in box office takings. Naturally, expectations for the next Deadpool movie are high. Now insider sources from the renowned industry magazine The Hollywood Reporter are claiming that Ryan Reynolds is planning a joint film with the X-Men. To be more precise, it will not be a classic Deadpool solo story, but an ensemble film. Deadpool does appear in the movie, but it's not the focus. Instead, other X-Men characters who have so far been kept on the sidelines are to be given more screen time. Reynolds hopes that this will allow new characters to make surprising appearances, as was the case with Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, specific characters have not yet been named. However, Oscar-nominated actress Cynthia Erivo recently expressed that she would like to play Storm, which has led to speculation. Reynolds had publicly acknowledged Erivo together with Ariana Grande at an event, possibly a subtle hint at future casting plans. Ultimately, however, the casting choices still rest with Marvel. The previous Deadpool films have already featured several X-Men, including Colossus, Sabretooth, and Pyro. Reynolds also managed to convince Hugh Jackman to make a comeback as Wolverine. The potential movie would be independent of the also planned MCU X-Men project, which is currently being written by the Hunger Games author Michael Leslie. Ryan Reynolds is already working on initial script ideas, which he'll then pitch to the studio. This approach is nothing new. Deadpool and Wolverine went through several concept phases as well, including a low-budget road trip idea. Despite his proximity to the big superhero teams, Deadpool remains a character who is on the fringes, and deliberately so. To quote Reynolds, his ultimate dream is to be accepted and appreciated, but he can't be accepted. His coping mechanism of deflecting shame through humor works only when used to pave over his many inadequacies. If and when he does become an Avenger or X-Men, we're at the end of his journey. The Roadhouse remake with Jake Gyllenhaal was a true surprise hit. Now a sequel is in the pipeline. And as The Hollywood Reporter is now officially confirmed, Guy Ritchie is set to direct Roadhouse 2. Jake Gyllenhaal will be back as former UFC fighter Dalton, now a bouncer at a Florida Keys bar. Gyllenhaal will also be working behind the scenes as a producer. A reunion with Lucas Gage as Billy, the bouncer in training, is also possible. The actor himself has already expressed interest in making a return. The screenplay is by Will Beall, who has already proven his flair for fast-paced action films with action blockbusters such as Aquaman and Bad Boys Ride or Die. But specific details about the plot and setting are still being kept under wraps. The first part, released in 2024, is a remake of the 1989 film of the same name starring Patrick Swayze. The remake was directed by Doug Liman and became a huge success on Prime Video with almost 80 million viewers worldwide in just 8 weeks. Liman himself is unlikely to be involved in the sequel. The reason for this is a public dispute with Amazon over the exclusive streaming release. Liman had originally hoped for a theatrical release. An exact date for the premiere of Roadhouse 2 has yet to be set. New details regarding John Wick 5. After the announcement at CinemaCon 2025, we now have some initial information about the plot. Director Chad Stahelski spoke about the new installment of the action series in an interview with the entertainment magazine Empire, including some cryptic remarks. Besides the return of Stahelski, one aspect in particular is already clear. Keanu Reeves is also coming back. Now, this was uncertain for a long time. After all, the actor did say a while back that his iconic character had died in the fourth John Wick film. Stahelski, too, admits that the saga surrounding John Wick was supposed to have ended with Chapter 4. Part 5 is therefore set to tell a new story. Quote, "It's not a continuation with the high table. John dealt with his grief. It will be really different." Now, the director is not disclosing any details about how the movie will be different. However, Stahelski is already looking forward to the fan reactions as soon as the first trailer gets released. By then, fans will hopefully have an idea of what the new story means for John Wick. John Wick 5 is far from being the only project in the franchise that awaits us in the coming years. A spin-off film about Donnie Yen's character Kane has been announced as well. Moreover, the Continental series will be followed by Under the High Table, another series from the John Wick universe. An animated film about the action hero's backstory is also in the pipeline. The prequel and the series will lay the foundation of John Wick 5, according to Stahelski. Quote, "Our idea is to try some things and explore some threads and use those two properties to catapult us forward into the ideas for John Wick 5. Next up, however, is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, which will also feature Keanu Reeves. The spin-off film starring Ana de Armas will be released in theaters on June 6, 2025.